percent so we can ship our income. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace. All right, y'all go live. Y'all ready?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Why are we here? Well, somebody that's brand new, or somebody, if you're new, somebody told you to come here to talk about strategy, talk about finances, talk about wealth. These are things that we usually don't talk about at the dinner table. And I don't know why. It's just, growing up, money's just not something that everybody feels comfortable talking about. And I want you guys to understand that it's okay to make a ton of financial mistakes, because when you do better, when you know better, you what? You do better. So after today, in this first half, in this first part of the morning, you're going to know a lot of different things that they just didn't teach you in schools. The problem or the key is to correct those things when? Now, see, after today, it won't be an excuse anymore that I didn't know. We're going to show you guys a format called 2, 4, 3. Write that down. A 2, a 4, and a 3. And everybody in this room, if you understand the power of 2, 4, 3, and this framework that we put together, then you'll get out of here and you'll start looking at your finances totally different. And you don't know this, a lot of people don't know this, but there's something that activates in your brain called your RAS filter. And your RAS filter is your ability to disseminate things now and make them look totally different now that you've been given some new information. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. It's a long neurological term, but it's short. RAS is short for, it's called a RAS filter. But what that means is, I'll give you an example. When you see a car, after you get a new car, anybody ever got one? Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh, okay, new to you. Used, but new to you. right. Okay. You start seeing that car everywhere. You ever notice that? Mm-hmm. That's called your RAS filter. It's not that the car wasn't there. It's always been there. But since you got yours, your level of awareness on that car, you now see every Honda you've ever imagined. You're like, that's my car. Money's the same way. Now that you focus on it, because you're taught not to focus on finances, now that you're focused on it, you're going to see opportunity where? Everywhere. Everything around you is money. Everything around you is opportunity. Because in this country, it's the land of the free, the home of the brave. People die to get over here, and then people that are living here are dead. Think about that. People die to get over here. People will get on a raft and risk life and limb, risk their entire lives, babies and everything, for the opportunity to get here and make it. You born here and wondering why. I'm sitting here wondering why you're struggling. It's simple. Capitalism demands that they keep you ignorant on how capitalism works so you can contribute to it but not participate in it. So the name of the game today is you got to start participating in capitalism and become more than just a contributor. Does that make sense? Yeah. Now let me show you guys how this works. Here's why most people fail financially. I'm going to fly through these slides, but you guys, as you get to know me, you'll know I don't like a lot of PowerPoint. I do a lot off the top of my head. So I want you guys to follow me on this 2, 4, 3 format, but I'm going to show you why most people struggle. Y'all ready? Yeah. I need 3 volunteers. Look, come on up. Come up on stage. Okay? Now, here's why most people struggle financially. I thought I had a young lady. I did. Yeah, bring her on. Yeah, we always got to have a pretty lady up there. All right. The lady, she made me look a little better than you. All right. Here we go. Come on up. Now, this is serious. There are 3 economic systems. Now, there are more than 3, but for the sake of this example, I'm going to give you 3 systems. Each system has a set of rules that govern it. Does that make sense? Yep. And if you don't know the rules that govern these systems, you get played by the rules instead of playing by the rules. So you got to stop getting played by the rules, and you got to learn how to play what? By the rules. Here's how this works. You represent communism. Certain countries are communistic countries. This is Cuba, this is China, this is Russia. They represent communism. You represent socialism. Okay, this is Sweden, this is Norway, this is Denmark, this is Switzerland, this is Canada. Everybody got it? You represent capitalism. Good old US of A. Everybody see it? Yep. Slide down. All right, so this is Great Britain. This is Great Britain, America, capitalism. Each of these systems operate differently. But if you don't know the rules that govern yours and you think you live here, you're in trouble financially. Yep. That's the bottom line. So before we get into how this works, you got to understand capitalism and what the rules are. Communism is this. I own 2 cows. You take both my cows and then sell me the milk back. That's communism. The government runs everything. Write this down in your notes under communism. Zero opportunity. Zero. How much? Zero. In communism, if I own 2 cows and I live in this country, the government will come in and take my cows, milk my cows, then sell me the milk back, then tell me how much milk I get per month. That's communism. Socialism says this. I have 3 cows. He has 10 cows. We got 13. See, in socialism, the idea is for everybody to feel what? Feel equal. My 3, because here's the argument. See, I got 3, but you need me to help you with your 10. And I need your 10 so we can have 13. So we put all our cows in the barn together, so collectively we all come up and nobody feels like less than the other. You think that's how America is. That's why most Americans struggle. Most Americans think they live in socialist environments. Like, in other words, you really think the country cares. It doesn't. It doesn't. Capitalism says, look, I got 2 cows. I'm going to sell one and upgrade to a bull. Make my bull and cow and sell you the milk. Now, if you ain't got no cows, I'm sorry. I got mine, get yours. Am I right? Mm-hmm. That's America. America is you got to take your cows and flip them, do something smart with your money, then find some people who want the milk your cows produce. But you think the government owes you some cows. They don't. You got to learn right now that in this country right here called the United States, you got to go out there and get the cows, produce the milk, and get people to get the milk from you. Our milk in MyEcon is education. We teach you how to live and survive by these rules and stop thinking like this. In your notes, no opportunity, communism. Limited opportunity, socialism. Unlimited opportunity, capitalism. But you got to get educated to get it. Does that make sense? Yeah. Y'all give him a hand. Give him a round of applause. Good job. Go, take a step. We ain't got no insurance. Take a step. Whatever you do, please don't fall. We ain't got no insurance. All right, here we go. So what kind of society do we live in? Capitalistic. And if you understand that, you'll start thinking about things differently. Okay? So we have 2 objectives in capitalism that have to be met. All right? The first objective is simple. Your current lifestyle is paid for by your labor. In other words, you go to work every day to take care of the bills that you've amassed for yourself. Am I right? Now, your other objective in capitalism is your future lifestyle has to be paid for with your what? Your investments. Now, here's the dichotomy. When you work, it's supposed to take care of your current and what? The future. If your current lifestyle is barely being met while you're working, your future lifestyle will never be met because they don't pay you more when you stop working. America sells you on this dream called retirement. They call it the golden years. And a lot of us bought it. We think that when we retire, things get easier. Newsflash, companies don't break you off more when you're not there. So if you're struggling going to work every day from 9 to 5, what in the world makes us think when we stop working, things get better? Right. That's capitalism. They sold you that when you were 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. Now, I'm not knocking America. It's going to sound like I'm knocking America throughout this presentation. But trust me, you don't see no boats leaving. Am I right? Right. Absolutely. I've never seen a group of people talking about, we got to get out of here. Go down to Cuba where it's better. Nah. This is the country to be in if you understand the what? The rules. See, if you went to work every day and your current lifestyle was also creating millions and millions of dollars for you, who wouldn't mind going to work? That's cool. But the problem is you go to work every day and most people don't even see a future. And the next thing you know, the future is where? It's here. So you got 2 goals you got to meet. You're supposed to make enough money now so that one day you can invest and never have to work what? Again. But is that happening for most people in this country? No. Mm-hmm. So here's the question. How is this the wealthiest country in the world? The wealthiest country in the world. And everybody's starving financially. Most people are starving financially. Mm-hmm. Do most people, let's agree on this, Is this the wealthiest country in the world first?
Yes.
I can't hear you.
Yes.
I can't hear you.
Yes.
Okay. It has to be a resounding yes. Now, are most people buried in debt?
Yes.
Okay. Are most people satisfied with their retirement fund?
Nope.
No.
Do most people have $3,000 saved up cash for a mini emergency?
No.
Do most people have 6 months worth of their lifestyle saved up so if they lost their job, they can go free for 6 months with no stress?
No.
Are most people happy with the legacy that they're currently leaving their children?
No.
But I thought it was the wealthiest country in the world. It is, but only for a few people. See, they understand the rules of the game. So what you got to do is learn the rules of the game. It's simple, okay? You got 4 things keeping you from your goals. How many?
4.
4. T, can you work this one? Y'all don't say. Switch it out here. All right, I'm gonna build this one. 4 things keep you financially struggling. 1 is inflation. Now, until you factor inflation into the equation, you will never get free in America. You have to factor in what? Inflation. Inflation basically means the cost of living goes up every day, which brings the value of your dollar down every day. Now, this is simple. Don't overcomplicate this. In America, business owners control how much things cost. What that means is, I can determine right now that I want to sell this bottle of water for $8 if I choose to. Everybody see it? Now in socialism, the government will step in and say, come on, Brian, that only cost you 20 cents. You can't hit them over the head for $8. But in capitalism, I'll sell to whoever willing to what?
Pay.
So if you want to buy this water that cost me $2 for 38, I'm going to sell it for 38. Somebody's that thirsty. Does that make sense? So if business owners control how much things cost, and a business owner can hike the price whenever they feel like it, you got to be able to raise your income whenever you what? Because if you don't, business owners eat you alive. So gas prices are what? Healthcare is what? Daycare is what? Clothing is what? Cars are what? Interest rates are what? Your income can't be down. That's why most people struggle. See, look, let me prove it to you. Let me prove something to you. Let's say I'm a farmer and the price of gas goes up somewhere in Iraq or oil. I got 400 acres of land. Does the price of oil in Iraq affect my farm? Because I got tractors and machinery. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So I got to fill up all my tractors for my 400 acres to produce your fruits and vegetables. Now watch this. I then have to sell my fruits and vegetables wholesale for much more because it's costing me more for my tractors. Am I right? Now, I then go to the grocery store and say, hey, Kroger, Publix, I need $8 a pound now. Kroger's like, damn, Farmer Beane. I'm like, hey, you see the gas prices? It's costing me more to produce these fruits and vegetables. Am I right?
Right.
Not only that, the trucks that are bringing it have gas, so now there's a surcharge on the distribution of my fruits and vegetables. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So the trucking company passed the surcharge on to me. I passed the gas prices onto the grocery store. The grocery store says, well, I guess grapes $12 a pound because Farmer Beane's selling them for $8. So the inflation was passed by the trucks. The farmer passed it to the store. The store passed it to who? Then here you come with your buggy. Well, damn. You ever walk in and just had a damn aha moment? I know Captain Crunch. I know good and well Captain Crunch ain't $6. Yeah. Just like that. Because the 3 people before you put the inflation in your cart. Business owners pass inflation. Consumers absorb it. So the only way for you to keep up with inflation is when prices go up, your income got to go what? Look, only 2 things keep up with inflation: real estate and business. See, when you sold your house for $300,000, but you bought it for $220,000, the $80,000 was called what? Inflation. Now, who likes it on that side? Who likes inflation when your house got inflated? You weren't mad, were you?
Right.
See, inflation is not bad. You're not on the right side. Inflate my house, please. I ain't say inflate my mortgage. I said inflate my house.
Right.
So when I sell it, that's inflation. So what happens is you have to have, if you have limited income that you can't increase when you feel like it, your shopping cart is getting heavier. Now multiply that example by food, groceries, gas, daycare. You can get a raise on your job, but by the time you get it, it's still too late. It's too late. Inflation has eaten all your money up. In other words, if you make $80,000 today, and you were making $40,000 20 years ago, you're still making $40,000. You didn't get a pay raise. It's a trick. I should be doing better. I'm making more. Yeah, but everything else also costs what? More. You have to outpace inflation to get rich.
Yep.
Make sense? 2, taxes. See, inflation is silent. Inflation creeps in on you. And it kills you at the gas pump because that's the only place where you really see it. Am I making sense? Mm-hmm. That's the place where you really see it. The top number is spinning fast. That's your dollars. But the bottom number is spinning slow. That's your gallons. So the top number is like click, 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 click. Your gallon's like click. Your money's like click, 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 click. Click. So the gas pump is where you see it. You're like, I know this thing gonna turn $4 a gallon. $20 used to fill you up. $20 now, you embarrassed to ask for 20. The gas attendant be like, 20. 20 on 6. And you scared to say it. Let me get 20 on 6. It's embarrassing because 20 don't do what it used to do. Right. Same president, same paper, same color, less gas. Am I right?
Right.
Netflix used to be what per month?
$7.
$7.
Yeah.
Then you get an email. We're taking it up to what? $9. You're like, cool. It ain't but $2. It ain't but $2. So to you, it's only $2. But that's $2 to them times 70 million subscribers per month. So they just increased $2 to you, didn't feel like nothing, but they just made an extra, what, $140 million a month off the $2 increase. And everybody says what? Cool. Because it was just $2. See, business owners pass it slowly, but you feel it all the way around. You got to stop this right here. You'll never get wealthy if you don't stop this from eating you alive. Make sense? Yes. Now, taxes kill you. Inflation is the silent killer. Taxes are the chainsaw massacre. A lot of people don't know this, especially the middle class. Taxes and debt are your 2 biggest expenses. It's not your wife, ladies, fellas. It's not your husband, ladies. I know you're like, if she would just stop. This is what we do. When we get in financial trouble, we start to budget.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If I cut my cell phone bill, if I stop eating out, if I get this gas, if I carpool, that's budgeting. And that's a small part of it, but budgeting won't get you out of financial trouble. You got to cut the 2 biggest things that are killing you. That's taxes and what? Debt. I'm going to tie the next 2 together. Write this down. Taxes cause debt. Taxes cause debt. Because what happens is the government reaches in your account or in your check and takes their money off the top. So you're left to live off what's on the bottom. So to get back up to the top, you got to borrow from the banks. So the country was set up where the government takes the money off the front and then the banks kick you in the back. So business owners get their money, they increase every month, slowly. You feel it, they don't. Am I right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The government takes the taxes off the top. You don't believe me? I'm not, because I had one of my friends gonna argue. I said, look, one thing about me, bro, I don't argue. Let's look at your pay stub. Let's pull it out. Let's read it. FICA, what's that? Taxes. State, what's that?
Taxes.
Social Security, what's that?
Mm-hmm.
Local.
Taxes.
Now look, let's look at what's not on your pay stub. Property.
Taxes.
Ad valorem.
Taxes.
Sales.
Taxes.
So we got local, state, federal, ad valorem, property, sales. You wonder why you ain't got no money. They tax you out the...
Right.
Am I right?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
So you wonder why you're broke. It's because, write this down, for a third of the year, you work for the government, not your job. So you work for the government from January to April. Think about that. So if they went in and hired you and said, look, now, you're not going to get paid, Mr. Beane, until May. We're going to pay you on month 5. You'll be like, I ain't taking this job. So they ration it out over the course of 12 what? Months. But when you do all the taxes times the 12 months, That was basically a third of the year. 4 months out of the year, you work for the federal government. Then you get paid. So if we can put a dent in this and get the taxes down legally, ethically, and morally, you have more in your pocket. Am I right?
That's right.
Now you got what's called cash flow. See, people confuse income with cash flow. There's a difference. Income is measured in dollars. Cash flow is measured in time. How much time can you survive without getting paid? That's the measurement of success. Because I'm gonna tell you guys something. When I get to the money in a second, people kill me when they say this. They're like, Brian, I make such and such. I make 6 figures a year. I'm like, you should never brag on how much you make working.
Wow.
That's heavy.
You brag on how much you make not working. If you make 6 figures a year, that's great. But because you should be getting paid because you're going to what? Work. So never brag on how much you make. I hope you're getting paid because you're going in. But tell me how much income you have not working. That's what wealthy people do. How can I get my income passively? How can I get my income residually so I can still spend time with my family and maintain my current lifestyle and build my future what?
Lifestyle.
In capitalism, you only got 2 goals. Current and what?
Future.
That's it. Let me tell you guys something. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. If you don't shift your income back to you and start doing the things we're teaching you this weekend, now, you won't even be on the road to wealth. Here's why I'm saying this. If the government has the biggest banking account in the world, which they do, the U.S. Treasury, the banks are number 2. Now, people want to argue with me, but it's not an argument. Did the government bail the banks out, or did the banks bail the government out?
Okay.
The government bailed the banks out. So, if the government has the largest account in the world, who did they get their deposits from?
Us.
Who?
Us.
When we pay what?
Taxes.
Now, if the banks have the second largest account in the world, who do they get the money from?
Us.
When we pay what? Loans, interest, or make what?
Deposits.
So if the 2 biggest entities in the world got wealthy off the people, that means the people have the wealth. They trick you to give it to them. So it's called income shifting. Everybody say, give me that back.
Give me that back.
That's all you're doing. You're saying, look, I've been feeding the government and bank for too long. Let me get that interest back. Let me get those taxes back. Because people don't understand this. You weren't supposed to pay taxes anyway. It's not a conspiracy theory. Taxes were set up a long time ago and you just fell into a trap and they never stopped. If you know your history, after the Great Depression, it's real simple. The economy or the government needed some help. So guess what they came to? The people. Hey man, look, this is what we're going to do. We need everybody to contribute so we get back on our feet. I'm giving you an ideology. We need everybody to participate and get back for us to get back on our feet. The people are like, cool, we need to be back on our what? Feet. They, back then, were giving you a statement of where your tax dollars were going. We put in new roads, we built some new bridges, we got some new highways, we got some new byways, we did this, we did that. Over the years, they flipped it. Now you give them a statement. And they just kept the thing going. And they just never stopped the loan that they were getting from the people. And to this day, we pay taxes. So I know what some of y'all thinking, oh Lord, he up there preaching tax evasion. No. Tax evasion, you go to jail for. Tax evasion is not reporting what you make. Saying you made $800,000, you really made $2 million, and you kept the other 1.2 somewhere in the Cayman Islands, and you didn't report it. That's tax evasion. We're talking about tax minimum what? Zation. See the difference? If you get the taxes down, you can get your debt down, because taxes cause debt. You wouldn't be borrowing as much if they weren't taking out as much. So if you make $50,000 a year and the government take 18 and you take home 32, to get back up to 50, you got to borrow 18, then you pay back 24. So the government gets you in the front and the banks kick you in the what? Back. So taxes cause debt. Debt is not a sin. Debt is a curse. A sin is something you do. A curse is something that's done to you. I'm telling you, man, you can pass debt on to your children. You have to get the debt down. Let me explain this. There are 2 kinds of debt, revolving debt and installment debt. I'm not mad at your installment debt. Student loans, hopefully you got a low interest rate. Car note, hopefully you got a low interest rate. I'm talking about the revolving credit cards that rob you blind every month.
Yep.
That has got to go. And I'm going to show you in training, that's robbing you of millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. Let me be clear on this. understand this. I'm doing a little more today because I have to educate you this weekend, so I'm going to train during the briefing. Listen to me good. Write this down. Interest is the penalty you pay for the right to own something in advance you cannot afford.
Wow.
Interest is the penalty you pay for the right to own things in advance that you cannot afford. Now, here's why this is important. The reason the banks are wealthy is because your money works for them forever. Anytime you give somebody interest, that's free money given to you, given to them by you. Am I right?
Right.
So if you give me $100 as a payment, and I only put 70 toward what you owe me, the 30 was free money to who? I take the $30 and loan it to Chuck. Chuck need a car. I took your extra 30, gave it to Chuck, put it in Chuck's car note. Now Chuck has interest. Your money that you needed from me and the money I lent to Chuck, which was yours, all of it pays me back. So your 30 rolled up in Chuck's car note. Chuck paid me for the next 5 years with your 30 and everybody else's 30 I'm getting. So the banks can't lose because it ain't their money, it's yours. Whenever you pay interest, that money goes on to work for somebody forever. It goes into the atmosphere through perpetuity. When you start thinking like that, like, wait a minute. Then I come into the bank and need a loan, and you won't give me one.
Right.
But you loaning my money to other people. In other words, guys, you're paying other people's student loans every time you make an interest payment. And not your kids. You're paying other people's car notes. You're paying other people's credit cards because the banks take the interest and flip it and give it to somebody else. It was free money to them. Debt is a curse. It keeps going. I'm going to show you guys today, after we take our break, what revolving debt does to you and what installment debt does to you. We're ready to learn about the real secret so well. I didn't make this stuff up. My mentor has earned $600 million. He's going to speak this afternoon. Don't miss 1 o'clock. $600 million from $10. Good night, man. Y'all. He took $10 in 1981, got mentored, and flipped it into $600 million. They had the nerve to teach me. Y'all, everybody in trouble. Everybody in trouble. Then I'm teaching Terrence. Everybody in trouble. I'm teaching LaWanda. I'm teaching Don. I'm teaching all y'all in trouble. Because I'm telling you, it's people out here who need to know how this works. They really think the government and the banks care. They go to the banks for a loan and think the banker is their friend. Then they get out and say, thank you, Jesus, for the loan.
Sure enough.
That's an oxymoron. That's an oxymoron. I'm not saying there's not good debt. I'm saying high interest debt has got to what? Go. 4 things keep you from hitting your 2 what? Go. The 4th one is big business. Write it down. 1 is inflation. 2 is taxes. 3 is what? Debt. 4 is what? Big business. Big business robs you of your wealth. Every month there's something for you to participate in. Am I right?
That's right.
Okay, so people don't believe me. All right. Let's start off in Thanksgiving. Now let's start for November. We're not talking about Thanksgiving. Black what? Friday. Now you heard about the new one.
Black Wednesday.
Before Cyber Monday. Brown Thursday. See, Brown Thursday is the day before Black Friday. Now, people don't know this. The reason it's called Black Friday is because on that day, companies get back into black. They've been in red all year. We put them back into black that day. Who remembers when you used to be able to eat with your family?
Yep.
Now, they move the sales up so that you can eat dinner for breakfast. Kill each other for flat screen TVs on Black Friday, and the previous night stores open all night long on Brown Thursday. So what's the big holiday after those is what? November? What's the holiday? Thanksgiving. Now the retail stores have a fit on Brown Friday, Brown Thursday, and Black Friday, and then we go online on Cyber what?
Monday.
December 25th is what?
Christmas.
31st. January 1st.
New Year.
February.
Valentine's.
March, spring what?
Break.
April.
Easter.
May.
Mother's Day.
June, July, August,
Back to school.
September,
Labor Day.
October,
Halloween.
November. And you telling me every month they don't get you. It's set up that way. It's set up for the calendar. You have to participate. People say, not me. Okay. Fellas, mess around and tell your sweetie, we ain't doing it this year. Mess around on Valentine's Day and just don't do nothing. Boycott Valentine's Day. Somebody else will do it this year for us. So you gotta participate. Capitalism demands you participate. Let me tell you guys something. Every commercial you see, do you understand how much it costs to run a commercial? Forget the Super Bowl and all that, the crazy numbers. Just a standard commercial. Billions of dollars into the psychology, the people in the commercials, the time of the commercials, the music in the commercials, the colors of the commercial. Yellow and red make you hungry, automatically, psychologically. Yellow and red, ketchup and what? What's McDonald's colors? Yellow. It's psychological. It makes you hungry. That's why they're a billion served. Yellow and red make you hungry. You're not even hungry, but you see it, you're like, I'm starving. It's psychological. Look at the drug commercials. Every night at a certain time, every night they come on. All the pharmaceutical companies have figured out that most people are depressed after the sun goes down. They're worried about their health and they're worried about their money at night. That's why all the infomercials are played. So you at night, you in the bed, you sleep, and you hear this all of a sudden. Are you tired? Like, yeah. Have you been having headaches lately? I did earlier. Has fatigue set in? I've been sleeping all week. You need Uterethol. Then they run a Uterethol commercial. Tell you this will cause dizziness. You will go blind. 2 kidneys will burst. 1 leg will shorten. 1 earlobe will collapse. But the lady on the commercial looking good. You're not even listening to all the stuff. She fine as I don't know what. She just ran Uterethol. It's like, wait a minute, is this good or bad? And most people are visual. So you're not listening to the blown kidneys and the eyeballs and the earlobe and the leg shortage. You're looking at how bad she is. You just need some Uterethol. Then watch this. 4 months later, have you taken Uterethol?
Right.
If you or anybody you know, am I right? Taking Uterethol. 5 million people died from Uterethol. You get some money. You like, oh Jesus, I took Uterethol. They don't care. You live in what country?
Capitalistic.
Let me tell you something. They will stroke a $5 billion check for a class action like it's pennies. And a bunch of people die like it ain't nothing. Because everybody, by the time the class action is over, everybody got $40. Yeah. And they made $800 billion. So they give you $5 billion. They knew that when they put the drug out there. They knew that was coming. But they knew that they made way more in the class action that you're going to settle. Because you can't fight them. Does that make sense? Yeah. You got to get big business out your pockets. The only way to get big business out your pockets is to become a business.
That's right.
See, we teach entrepreneurship. We teach you the importance of owning your own business so you can have what's called a piece of the American fabric. A lot of you guys are participating in these things, but you're not contributing to them. I mean, you're contributing to them, you're not participating. All right, so let's talk solutions. Everybody ready?
Yes.
Okay. 4 problems keep you from your 2 what? Objectives. The solution is simple. Strategize your way to wealth. Everybody can't do sales. Let me tell you guys something. For the first 15 years of my career, I was in sales. And when I tell you I was a beast, I was a beast. I didn't think anybody could outproduce me. I lived it. I woke up selling. I went to bed selling. I was selling throughout my day. I was building organizations across the country. I was flying. Let me tell you something. I can sell. But here's the problem. Everybody can't. So if I can sell, and I'm the only one that's gifted enough to do it with a few other people, how long will I have to sell? Forever. Then one day it hit me. Probably after I lost my first 7 figures. I gotta do something different. Because jumping around all these companies every 4 years, I'm getting older. Does that make sense? I gotta do something now Where this time around, in my 30s and 40s, I'm not getting audited and losing all my money again. Does that make sense? I wasn't even wild, and I'm not even a real ball and frivolous, like, need all that stuff kind of person. I got all that out of my system when I was young. But I didn't understand strategy, so I lost all my money in my 20s because it was sales driven. Nobody got on stage and taught me what to do with the money.
Right.
So they capitalized on my gift. Does that make sense? So now I said, you know what? If I can help it, everybody I know will learn how to flip their money into a strategic plan. So whether you're good at sales or not, that has nothing to do with your financial future. We're ready for a strategy.
Absolutely.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
Yeah.
I got all day. I can't hear you. Yeah. I stay on the slide until you give me the energy I need. All right. Here we go. So here's what happened. I tell people I went from ashy to classy. I was making 3 figures every 2 weeks on a job I hated. I can't give you guys the name of the company, but they call it the Bank of America. Okay? 3 figures every 2 weeks. I started my home-based business. I started making 4 figures a week. Now, who would agree? You make 3 figures every 2 weeks, you go to $1,000 a week minimum. You good. Am I right?
Yep.
So I fired my boss when I was 22. Then I started making 5 figures a month. That's 6 figures a year. I've had a 7-figure career. I retired when I was 22. I now travel the world showing people how to shift their mindset first so you can shift your what? Income. You got to change the way you think about money first, and then your money and your situation will change. So the change for me was when this little joker right here was born. I said, you know what? I am not going to give him a silver spoon, but you definitely want your children to have more education about things like money than you had. Am I right? So it's about creating legacy wealth, and you get legacy wealth through education. See, rich people sit around with their children at the dinner table and talk about money. Hey, son, how'd you do today on your portfolio? Hey, well, Dad, I got a stock tip from so-and-so. You may want to look at this. Hey, son, see, that's what wealthy people do. So when we're going to start your business, you know, such and such is hot trend right now. Such and such, broke people. Don't ask me nothing. They don't want to talk about bills. They tired of talking about money. Exactly. They don't have no money. And what happens is you don't learn about it because ain't nobody what? Talking about it. I screamed to the heavens, I'm broke. Wasn't no pride. Wasn't nothing involved. Look, I'm broke. I need somebody to show me something. And the universe will answer your call.
That's right.
But the first thing you got to do is don't be afraid to ask for help. Does that make sense? Yep. See, we were taught not to ask about it so people can keeping you blind about it. Money's not a hard topic to discuss. You got to get over what's called your self-imposed limitations that is not cool. Oh, talking about money is cool.
All right.
So that's all we talk about. And when all you talk about is money, not for the sake of the material things, but for the sake of the freedom it brings. Money gives you options. When you broke and you get a flat tire, Jesus. When you wealthy and you get a flat tire, you switch cars. Am I right? See, when you got money, emergencies become inconveniences. AC compressor, that's going to be $800. Well, if you got $3,000 in your emergency, it's an inconvenience because you've been prepared for the AC. You see? So inconveniences are not really emergencies. They're only emergencies if you don't have the money to handle it. Right. So who's tired of thinking like that? That's how you have to do it. So here's the reality. Write this down. Cash, asset, cash. Say it.
Cash, asset, cash.
Again.
Cash, asset, cash.
You have to take some cash. Buy, build, or grow an asset, and that asset generates more what?
Cash.
In our organization, in Extra Digit, we call this 369. Within 3 months, we're going to help you flip your cash flow around. Within 6 months, we're going to help you grow your home-based business. And within 9 months, you should be investing. Now, it doesn't mean it takes 3 months, 6 months, and 9 months to make it happen. I just wanted to give people a realistic goal. You didn't get in your situation overnight, so don't be trying to become no millionaire overnight. Does that make sense? Give us 3 months to help you flip your cash flow around. Give us 6 months to start earning you some business income. And give us, within 9 months, you should start what? Investing. Why is that important? I want y'all to think about this for a minute. See, when your friends come to you talking all that trash, this is what I grew up with, right? How your little business coming? Let me see a check. What you doing now? Brian, it was juice. It used to be long distance. I bought for my first pager from you. Now you're doing cable. Now you're doing nutrition. I said, you know what's funny? I am doing all those things, but I've been doing them for me for 20 years. What you doing?
Wow.
See, don't nobody mess with you. See, when you switch from IBM to Hewlett Packard to Microsoft, Microsoft to Apple, I didn't say you was jumping around.
Right.
See, the one thing consistent about OBB, I'm an entrepreneur. See, don't let people make you feel guilty about the fact that for about 3 years, it's going to be about your money. Because that's a dangerous trap. Now all you doing is chasing dollars. Now, I'm not chasing dollars. I'm chasing freedom.
Freedom. Absolutely.
I'm tired of being broke.
Freedom.
The aha moment for me, I'll never forget. I had $19 in one account. I had $11 in the other one. I had $30 to my name and couldn't get 20. Now you think about that for a minute. What I'm doing with two accounts anyway, 19 and 11, just merge them and shut one down. But I'm like, nah, I gotta keep my savings open. 19 and 11, I needed 20. And if I take 20 out, it's gonna cost me 35. Oh, y'all don't know? Okay, y'all never had no NS. Okay, all right. All right, I forgot. And y'all don't know about bank fees. Okay, all right, cool. Don't worry about it. So, you gotta take some cash. Buy, build, or grow a what?
Asset.
The asset generates more what?
Cash.
Now, here's the difference. Understand this. There's a difference between income and cash flow. Huge difference. People confuse this. Income is the dollars you make. Cash flow is how long it what? How long it lasts. Here's how important this is. Let's say I'm a multi-millionaire. I'm an English major. For the sake of the math, I got $1 million. How much? $1 million. Now, if I make $1 million a year, is my income sky high? Yeah. Everybody agree? Yeah. My income is sky high. Am I right? Mm-hmm. Now, if I have $2 million a year in expenses, my cash flow is 6 months. In other words, my bills are from this side of the stage to that side of the stage. The stage represents 2 million, but my money is $1 million. So I'm broke by June. My cash flow is low, but my income is what? But my bills, I'm overspending. I'm robbing Peter to pay Paul. I gotta look like the Joneses, so I got a $2 million lifestyle, but $1 million, so I can only survive for 6 what? Now, let's take a school teacher or a principal. She made $80,000 a year, but her bills are $40,000. She good for 2 what? Years. 2 years. So Miss School Teacher, high school principal, is good for year 1, and if she don't do nothing else, she good for year what? 2. Her cash flow is great. She's traveling the world. She got a nice little Honda Accord paid for. She got some timeshares, I don't like timeshare. She got a condo. Am I right? Got a condo in Miami. She in Europe for vacation. Car note down to 0, living it up. Here I am, big house, falling apart. Taxes hit me, property taxes hit me, I ain't got no emergency fund, my car breaking down, I can't afford my HOA fees, I got emergencies happening, but I'm a millionaire with a $2 million lifestyle. So guys, you gotta learn, man. I'm not saying struggle, but what I'm saying is struggle until you get where you need to get, so struggle, you never have to struggle again. That's it. People think like I'm not about nice things. Look, I got my toys. Trust me, I got my toys. But they're paid for with assets. So when I want something, I go, I'm not paying for that out of my pocket. So let me get my business off the ground so the business will what? Pay for it. It's never I can't afford it. It's how can I afford it? Write that down. It's never, you can afford whatever you want. The question is what? How? So when you develop a cash mentality, you'll say, okay, I got some cash. I got to give me an asset, and the asset will grow my cash. That's called income shifting. So whenever you hear us talk about income shifting, it's going through that process. So the first place we look to get you some cash are your taxes. We got to get your taxes what? Down. Then use that money to pay your debt what? Down. Off. And then get your expenses all the way what? Down. All right, let's look at it real quick. For $129, how much? $129. And $34 a month. That's how much our membership costs. $129 and $34 a month. We teach you the strategies. We give you the software to implement the strategies. Then we give you the system to run the strategies in, and that leads to your financial what? Success. Strategies, software, system, and success. Now, right here is where the old you pops in. 129. Let me have a keep it real moment with you, like somebody did with me. When I got in my first home-based business, I never forget, it was $495. $495. Man, I saw that presentation. I ran up to that dude. I said, man, look, I'm in. One problem. I don't have the $495. He said, young man, true story. Young man, I understand. How long you been working? I said, shoot, I work at the bank. I've been working 4 years. He said, okay, you've been working 4 years, and you haven't saved $125 a year. That hit me right then. So you've been working 4 years and you don't have $125 per year. Y'all, if 129 is not under your mattress by accident, you should have 20 in some jeans you forgot. There should be 20 under the sofa that's buried somewhere. There should be some behind the counter. You should have some of this in your drawer. 129, you shouldn't even bat an eye, because this saves you on average $600 a month in taxes. So if I gave you $600 a month for every 129 you gave me one time, who would make that exchange all year?
All year.
Then the application's in the back. Thanks for coming.
Right.
Because I'm going to show you. Now, the $34.95 a month covers your membership. This is your membership. The membership has what's called the cash flow manager. The only way to lower your taxes, the government has to see that you're making a legitimate attempt to gain a profit. Don't mess up like I did and get audited when I was in my 20s, where the government then files your taxes for you, and it's way more than you would. Then you owe way more now. Does that make sense? So now you keep up with your records. You pull out your cell phone, you download our cash flow manager on the cell phone. Every time you eat out, take a picture of the receipt. Enter in the what, when, where, why, and who. This uploads to the cloud. Now at the end of every year, all your expenses are in. You ship that to your CPA, and she subtracts all your expenses because you have a home-based what?
Yes.
Now every dollar you make, the expenses you already have become deductions. Now your taxes are coming what?
Down.
Because you lowered your income via your home-based what?
Business.
And some of y'all sitting around talking about $34.95 a month, $1.17 a day. It's mind-boggling to me the way people think, because you're taught that that's an expense. I'm taught that that's an investment. An expense is when something goes out and you get nothing what? Back. An investment is when something goes out and way more comes what? So if $34.95 saves you on average about $500 a month in taxes, who would trade that all day, every day? That's our membership. Now check this out. Identity theft is included in the $34.95. Not just the cash flow manager, but identity theft. That's the #1 crime in the country right now. People stealing your social, people stealing your fingerprints. They're telling you now, don't even do the peace sign in pictures. Y'all know that?
Yeah.
Don't even do the peace sign. You do the peace sign, you gotta flip it. People can now take your fingerprints off the screenshots from your peace sign.
I did not.
So now you do peace. I'm not holding that. I'm serious.
Like, just close your
They steal your
hand. Just
identity,
close your
your
hand.
credit cards, your social, your fingerprints off screenshots. This is $1 million insurance policy. If somebody steals your identity, we'll cover you up to $1 million until you get your social and everything back. Who would agree that's worth $34?
Right.
This is called key logging. This is the defender. If they get your identity, this is what you put on your computer to protect your identity. Make sense? Legal Club Services of America. Discounted legal. Anybody ever want to talk to a lawyer? Just sit down and get a consultation? Maybe you want some royalties to write a book, do a trust fund, or maybe you got to sue somebody. Everybody always think crime. It ain't just crime, okay? You need people to protect your money. Who would agree? Yep. Once you make money, you need to start protecting your money. It's included. Like 40, 50% discounts with legal services. Who likes that alone? Credit restoration and counseling is included. Audit and tax preparation is included. All of that for $34.95 a month. And the business opportunity is included. Let's wrap up. The IRS states, I didn't make this up. This is on their website. It states, where does your refund come from? It comes from your wallet or purse. Let me just stop. Where does it come from? Your wallet or purse. When you tell your employer how much to withhold from your paycheck, or you make an estimated tax payment. For the average refund, that's about $40 a week too much. The government, the IRS website, back in 2005 said most people are overpaying their taxes by $40 a week. Here's the question. If you took the 40 a week, multiplied by 4, that's $160 back in your pocket per what? Per month. You take the $160 per month, multiply that by 12, that's over $2,000 per year back in your what? You take the $2,000 per year times the number of years you've been working, put it in an interest rate at 8%, you have over $300,000. But the government robs you $40 at a time. In business, that's called lost opportunity cost. See, it's not the 40 that kills you. Right. It's the 40 per week times 12 times the number of years you've been what? Working. And not taking that same money and doing what? Investing. That's called lost opportunity cost. So the taxes and the refund you want to get up front. Watch this. You might be using the extra withholdings as a quote-unquote forced savings, but Uncle Sam does not pay interest on refunds. This is the Fed telling you this. Mm-hmm. In other words, you give the government your money all year, they invest it, make a ton of money, and don't give you no interest. Then give you part of your money back, and we go, yes, my CPA, woo, tax refund time. Then guess what we do with it? Go pay all the debt off that we got in. And we do that every what? Every year. And then because we got a little check with a comma in it, you know we got to go buy something. Now big business gets your refund. The government already took your refund. You're paying your debt off with your refund, and now you back to zero doing the same thing next year. So all four of the big four got your tax refund. And then check this out. Your refund get taxed because it's income. But I tell you
better wake up.
This is from who? Putting the money in any savings account or paying down debts might be a better option. The government telling you, get your money during the year up what?
Right.
But he ain't stronger than that. He would pack that what's H&R Block commercial you just saw. Then you need the money so bad, you file rapid refund. And they take more out. So all year you gave your money away in taxes. You get your refund and you need it rapidly so that you get more money. And then you take that money and go pay off the debt that the refund caused you. Capitalism. So what we do is simple. We create 5 income streams. Or as Ivy says, his granddaughter says, we got 5 monies. How many monies? 5. We got 5 monies. Here's what we do. It's called snowballing. We revisit your W-4. Your W-4 is the form that you filled out when you first got your job. On the back of the W-4, these are called allowances. The front of the W-4, those are called deductions. Everybody in America gets what's called standard deductions. If you're married, you get a what? You have a child, you get a what? Deduction. Your first $6,000 is tax deductible. Right? It's tax free. So if you have a house, your interest rate is tax what? Deductible. America gives you certain tax deductions for doing things that they want you to do. Does that make sense? On the back of that form, they're called exemptions. But exemptions only go, or allowances only go to business owners. But when you get your job, you usually don't have a what? So you don't fill out the back. But the back is where what we call, that's where the haps is at. On the what? Everybody say the haps on the back.
The haps on the back.
That's what we call the haps. The haps is on the back. Now that you have a business, you go revisit your W-4, get your allowances, your check goes up the next pay period. Now, do we go spend that money?
No.
We keep our lifestyle the same, take the new W-4 money and pay off any what? Debts. So we take the $450, and instead of giving the car note $330, we give them the $330 plus the new $450. Car note going in 9 months instead of 5 years. That's right. Does that make sense? Now you ate into the interest. See, they thought they had you for 5 years. You're like, oh no, I'm gonna give you the new $450 plus my regular note. I'm gonna double up and get y'all all this because I got the game now. Y'all not gonna make all the interest off me. Does that make sense? Now we take the new $450 and the new $864. We take the new expense that we have and take all this money and start investing it. So now when the debt comes back in your house and the taxes are down and you find out what's called your latte factor is something you do that you don't realize every month is starting to compound. Like mine was ATM fees. Back in the day, Bank of America, use Wells Fargo, I didn't care. $20 out cost you $26. They get you for $3 because you don't bank with them, and then they get $3 because you're using them. So $20 cost you $26. They made 25% return on your $20. So when you add all that up after a while, you're like, hold on, dog. Every month I'm spending about $50 just in ATM fees. 50 times 12 is 600. 600 times the number of years I've been doing that could have been invested. They robbed me $3 at a time. So you got to figure out what we call it your latte factor. What's costing you about the price of a cup of coffee, but you're doing it a lot? Does that make sense?
Right.
For some of y'all, it's coffee.
Yeah.
Starbucks, man. What they call it, a tall, a small. Whew. I didn't say something. Ain't nothing like waking up with folders in your cup. You better go get one of them bags that last you all month. Mm-hmm. But I get it. But if you just figure out what it is, it might be cigarettes. It might be ATM fees. What can you cut down? Are you really watching HBO? I'm not saying be frugal, but what's robbing you a little bit and get some of your expenses down and multiply that by 12? That could be about $500 a year. Am I right? Mm-hmm. Now you can show people the business and we pay you bonuses every week. So not only do you have your own cash flow from the taxes, the debt is down, the expenses are low, the income coming in from your business, now you got 4 income streams creating a 5th one that you can invest. People think they don't have enough money to invest. It's not that. It's that other people got your money and they invest in it. So raise your hand if you need 5 monies. See, these are called income streams. Most people have what are called income puddles. Brian, you understand? I work a job. I cut hair on the weekends. I got my own t-shirt company. I'm in a network marketing, MLM. So I got multiple streams of income. I said, no, you got puddles. You got puddles. It's impossible. I'm not being funny. That's impossible. Here's why. There's no alignment. See, when you do your network marketing business over here, you cut hair on the weekends, you got your job, and you're selling t-shirts. That's no alignment. You got to do what businesses do. If you go to Kroger, is there a pharmacy in the back?
Yes.
So Kroger took these customers and said, look, while you shopping, if you need your prescriptions, go see us in the back. So they rent the back out to CVS. Mm-hmm. Is there a bank in the front?
Yes.
Is there an ATM over there? Mm-hmm. So the bank is in the front. If you need your banking, go up front. The pharmacy's in the back. You need the drugs, go in the back. Can you get your photos done over here on this little machine? Mm-hmm. So they took one customer base and created 4 streams here. You doing the same thing. You taking one of your streams and creating 4 more with the same, it's called strategic alignment. Not, you ever saw the circus where they spinning plates? What happens after a while?
Stop.
That's you. That's your finances and the house falling. Because you ain't had no alignment. See, I said, look, let me get one thing going. Let me get good at one thing. Then I'm going to diversify. Does that make sense? Then I start investing in private business. You see? So I don't do anything that's not in alignment with what I'm already doing. Got it? Mm-hmm. So now that's how you create more cash flow for yourself. Let's wrap this up. Cash, asset, cash. So now you got a business getting tax deductions based on bills that you already have. Make sense? So before your business, you were making $50,000 a year, getting taxed on 18, taking home 32, then trying to live off of 32, which is the net instead of the gross, which was what? 50. Over here, now that you have a business, the government says, we do it different. You make 50, you get to pay your bills first. Subtract the bills out, then we tax you after you pay your what? That's about $900 a month that you save in taxes. Because the government lets you pay your bills last. Guys, let me tell you something. In this country, everything is run by what's called tax codes. W-2 means take my taxes off the what? Top. 1099 means take my taxes off the what? All the government does, they just try to confuse you. That's all. It's just letters and numbers. Schedule C, Schedule A, W-4, W-2, W-9, 401k, 501c3, Form 433, Schedule D. All these are just letters and numbers to try to confuse you. They're all tax codes. So all you gotta do is know that this tax code says tax me the most, and this tax code says tax me the least. Now, which one you want your money to come from? That tax code. That's it. Get your money from 1099 because that says don't tax it till they finish. And we never finish. Got it?
Yep.
Got it.
Good. So, that's the cash flow manager. That's how it looks on your phone. The way to lower your taxes is keep excellent what?
Records.
Keep excellent what?
Records.
We take a picture on our phone of the receipt. Let's say you eat at Red Lobster. I paid $35. I upload the image of the receipt. My MyEcon fee every month is also tax what? Deductible. $34.95. Let's say my check this week is $1,800 because it's income and expenses. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
No problem. It all from your phone is going into the cloud onto this little cool spreadsheet. Now I print this out, just hand it to my CPA and say, look, this is everything I did this year.
Yeah.
So you just take 2 or 3 minutes per day and enter all your receipts in. How many minutes? 2 or 3. Oh, Brian, man, nobody got time for all that. So let me get this straight. You struggling financially? Yeah. You call me to meet with you? Yeah. You took a picture of me since we've been sitting here and posted it on Facebook.
Right.
Yeah. Then you tweeted and told everybody, with Brian Beane. Yeah. Then you put me on Instagram because I just saw you do it. Yeah. So you just put me on 3 social media sites with me and you chilling, but you ain't got time to take a picture of a receipt. I tell y'all, I act real naive, but I'm far from dumb. People kill me acting like they don't have 2 or 3 minutes a day to lower their taxes by $500 a month. But they on social media every 5 minutes.
Tell them, Beane. Tell them.
That's why everybody can't run a business. Because they're not ready to shift the mindset into, let me do something now so it'll benefit me way later.
Yes.
They got to see the results now. That's why America loves employees, because that's the mentality that you have. So now all the stuff is in my Excel spreadsheet. I can now put this on a thumb drive and give it to my CPA, or I can print it out and email her the file. Now you're just doing this, and after a while you start making enough money where you need to go ahead and do this quarterly. Does that make sense? Now you can anticipate how much you owe. See, here's the thing, and I'm gonna close out with this. This is important. People have a misnomer, they have a misconception that they're gonna owe if they get their tax dollars up front. Let me give you a news flash. Everybody owes. Write this down. We all owe. We all owe. People miss this. You owe when you have a job. It's just that they take it off the what? Top. So you owe anyway. People just aren't used to every quarter stroking a check for what they owe because they got their money up front. But if you stroke the check for the amount you owe, at least you determine how much you owe. So I stroke a check, a handsome check every quarter, but I'd rather stroke that check as opposed to them taking what they think I owe. So we all what? It's how you paying. You're deciding to let them take it in one code, call it W what? I'm deciding how much I give you in another code, call it 1090. See the difference? That's the difference. And what allows you to do that is excellent record keeping. I'll be honest with you. I learned this after I got audited. The government's not really after you. What they're trying to do is make sure that you're just not using your business as like a little tax shelter. That's for the dope boys and the drug dealers, because they're not going to keep good records. So if you keep good records, they're like, okay, you really doing business. Because people that don't have a legitimate business don't have nothing to what? Show for it. So they're really not after you. They're just trying to make sure you legit. And that shows that you 100% what? Legit. Now you get bonuses. Write this down. 7 equals 500. 7 equals 500. Every time 7 people join what's called your base shop, I'll talk about that in training today, you earn $500. Every time how many?
7.
7 equals 500. So these are some of the bonus checks that people receive over and over and over and over again per week for teaching people how to shift their income. If you can't teach people, can I do it for you online?
Yes, sir.
If you can't teach people, can I do it for you on conference call?
Yes.
If you can't teach people, can I do it for you on Facebook Live?
Yep.
If you can't teach people, can I do it for you on the webinar?
Absolutely.
Just get your people in front of those of us that love doing it. I love teaching this stuff. I can talk about this stuff all day. Because when you understand it, you'll see people's light bulbs go off, and it's nothing like the text messages I get every morning. Brian, I just paid off 4 credit cards. It's nothing like the messages I get, email, comments, inbox, text. Every day somebody's cash flow is getting better. And it's not because of me, it's because of you guys. Give yourselves a hand, man. Y'all killing it. Y'all can do better than that. Y'all killing it. So we owe it to ourselves to get extra income by showing people how to create more cash flow. Your income comes from helping people get more what?
Cash
flow.
See the difference? All right. So I was blessed enough. I broke the record actually in the company. I got a $10,000 check for 7 days worth of work. I came in blazing. Does that make sense? So this is, Ivy Stokes presented me with a $10,000 check. My son, he actually got all of it. I haven't seen it since. All right, that's just the way it works at the house. These are the different things that you get residual income off of. Okay? So now every month you get residual checks from the different products and services that we have for you in the back office. Who likes residual income coming in? Guys, if your bills are coming monthly, your income should come and match it monthly. So it's nothing like having a check that pays your bills. The problem is most of your bills are coming in circles. Gas, power, water, cell phone, internet. They come whether you use it or not, but your income is linear. So you're walking through the bills. You need a check that follows the what? Bills. Gas bill paid, water bill paid, internet paid, power bill paid automatically. Our monthly fee of $34.95, you get $3, $5, or $8 per $34.95 every month. Now your monthly fee generates another income stream for you that pays all your bills. You get to a point where one of your checks pay all your bills. Just one. Who would mind if your bills got paid annually?
Right.
You gotta keep flipping your cash flow over. How Ivy went from $10 to $600 million. He's gonna talk about how he did it today after lunch. He speaks after lunch. He's gonna show you how he did it. You got the same opportunity to start now. Start doing the same thing. Even if you don't get the $600 million, who cool with a cool $4 million?
Right.
We have an online shopping mall in your membership where you get residual checks. If you're gonna buy something, buy it from who? Buy it from you. Check with your mom first. Right? Now don't call me tomorrow. Now, Brian, I got some toilet tissue. How much? Look. All the commissions are different. What you're doing is you're building a database of people and everybody's shopping, getting small things, and let's say you got $1 off 2,000 people. Does that make sense? Don't call me or no dog food talking about when the commission check comes. All right? This is called e-commerce, which means it builds over time. Right? You're going to get a plane ticket? Check here first. You need PetSmart? Check here first. Target, on sale, Macy's, Expedia, Priceline, DirecTV, Walmart. Check with yourself first and get cash back. What if everybody in your group went shopping in the mall once a month? And over time, that's another income stream. Got it? All right. Strategy 3 is real simple. This is called asset accumulation. Cash, asset, what?
Cash.
This is our third piece of software. You put your priorities in. What do you want to do financially? We then put you put your numbers in, and it tells you how much you need per month to land exactly where you need to land. So let me give you a quick example. You say, Brian, I want $8,000 a month when I retire. That's your personal freedom goal. Everyone see it?
Yep.
Watch this. How much do you think you're going to get from Social Security? You say $850. All right, so I'm $71.50 short. Am I right?
Yep.
I need to get to $71.50. At 8%, you need $1,072,000 that'll generate the $71.50 per month. Because you get $850 from Social Security, so you'll land on 8 what? 8,000. Everybody see it?
Yep.
You need $952 a month to hit your freedom goal by the year that you want the money. Now, who would agree? $952 a month, compound at 8%. Who would agree? That's way lower than you thought what you needed. $900 a month. Now I know what you're saying. Brian, I don't have it. You missed my whole presentation then. Yes, you do. They took it from you. In taxes, debt, inflation, and what? Big business. You do have the 952. You got to shift the 952 back to who?
You.
And you'll land right on $8,000 a month. Now, watch the one thing I'm gonna change. Everybody see this 8? Everybody see this? This is the future of most people in America. Putting their money in the what?
Banks.
Instead of doing what? Investing. They're putting their money in the bank instead of investing. Watch this. Look what 2% does to the monthly amount you need. You need $10,452 a month to get 8. You need more than you want. Y'all see that? You need $10,000 a month to land on a freedom goal of 8. You know what that tells you? 2% won't cut it. Our Ivy set it up where the algorithms calculate inflation. So 2% is less than what? So now your freedom goal is 8, but you need 10. What this tells you, you can't get rich at the bank. You gotta have 8% or higher to absorb inflation. So by the time you retire, because by the time you retire, cost of living gonna be much what? Higher. So you gotta start thinking about your future when?
Now.
When?
Now.
When?
Now.
Everybody stand up. Give yourselves a round of applause as you stand up. I know you got hold your phones. Give yourselves a hand. Y'all do better than that. You gotta start thinking about your future now. No millionaire just woke up. We're not talking about inheritance. I'm talking about people that went from nothing to something, just woke up and landed on $1 million. Believe it or not, every millionaire you know, they started making their millions years ago. They started making it years ago. It just finally showed up. But it happens with diligence and consistency. What two things?
Diligence
and consistency. You got to have those two things. So new people, if you're brand new, here's what I want you to do. There are 3 kinds of people in the room. Okay? And number 3 says thanks, but no thanks. I'm fine financially. If you're fine financially, cool. Thanks for coming out. We appreciate it. And number 2 says I'm in, but I'm in primarily for the strategies. I'm a number 2. I want to get my household in order. Right? We teach you the strategies and put you on a game plan for you. A number 1 says I'm all the way in. I want the strategies for me, and I want to build the business and get bonus checks. That's a number 1. If you are a number 2 or a number 1, stick around because I want you to hear after lunch from my mentor, Ivy Stokes. But what I'm going to do, because he's running late today, he had to do a training, and he's going to come here afterwards. I'm going to come back after a 15-minute break and give y'all some new insight into our brand new tool that we're launching this weekend to help you get your business off the ground. Is that cool?
Yeah, absolutely.
So during the break, let us know if you're number 2 or number 1. Come back in 15 minutes. My name is Beane. I see you guys in the magazines. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, work. You see me, I be work. You see me do me that. And some